All right, today we got in the Hester Stage 1 Elka Editions for a UForce 1000 XL. I asked the question about the black and silver springs, and these are Eibach and these are Elkas, but according to Mr. Hester, that's par for the course right now with this setup. And you can't always change the colors, but I think it'll be fine. So initial measurements here. Again, we're running stock suspension. I think these are on the middle setting for the preload. 30 by 10 by 14s. Let's see where we're at on. We're about 14 inches, real close of clearance on the front. And I got it, I think about 13 3/4 or so. Probably could take it. We're right about even 14 on the back as well. We're gonna do some testing. Still have the sway bar link hooked up. And I'm going to see if my little tractor will lift the front wheel and kind of do some testing like Hester's does on his channel to show what kind of flex we get. My plan is to do it with the stock suspension, with the sway bar hooked up. I'll try to get one stock suspension with the sway bar unhooked, and then with the Elkas without the sway bar is my plan. So I'm going to try to capture some of this for people who may be interested as I go along.
Alright, apologizing if I shut the tractor off, it'll lose hydraulic pressure and sort of start letting that bucket go down, because that's about all she can lift. Stock suspension. Let me show y'all. Again, sorry for the tractor noise. That's all she can do. You can see it here. She's teetering, coming off the ground.
I'm not sure how best to get these measurements. I guess it'd make more sense to sort of see what we're looking at there. Off the tread, 11.5 inches. I'm just trying to get some idea of what it looks like with the stock suspension and the sway bar on. Alright, we're back with the sway bar removed. Grab a tape. See, she's coming off the ground with just a little bit of pushing. About 8 3/4. I feel like it's definitely squatted more on this side without the sway bar.
best. If I shut it down, that bucket will slowly drop. All right, that's all stock without the sway bar. Time to put some Elkas on.
All right, back with the 1000 XL with their new Elka shocks. Previous videos with a stock suspension, I probably should have held the camera in landscape rather than portrait. Sorry about that, but I wish I'd have taken better measurements. But it is amazing how much more articulation, I guess is the right word, it's having with this setup. There were 23 inches there. Not even. That's just as much as I can get it to compress without any weight. And sorry for the tractor. If I shut it down, that front bucket sort of slowly drops. Man, that is, I mean, I think, what would the, I can't get that the greatest. We're gonna call it right at 3 inches. And it had the sway bar. We weren't getting out of like 6. Man, I mean, it's not even the same machine. impressions after running them for about 100 miles they're fantastic. Simply put, a big utility side by side like this should not be as much fun as it is trail riding, and it wasn't with the stock suspension. It just truly wasn't. Bone stock with the stock wheels, it was tippy, and I think the suspension when I got it was on soft. When I dialed it up to about midways and put the 30-inch tires on, 1-inch spacers on the rear, it helped it not feel quite so tippy. But the problem would be when you go into certain trails that dip down on one side, it felt like it wanted to throw the machine, in my opinion, into the ditch. Whereas with the Hesters, and he describes it, I think, as like the trophy truck type of suspension, but you can feel the wheels have so much more, the suspension that is, has so much more ability to drop into the ruts, the holes, while keeping the chassis at a much more manageable position and a much more comfortable position for the riders. Again, you know, this is mostly a toy for the family. I have 2 young daughters and a wife, and when I told them, yeah, I put some new shocks on there, they're like, why? And one ride, and they're like, wow. I mean, without even really understanding what it was I did to it, just them having the experience, such a nicer ride, more stable, and just a more pleasurable experience to take it out for everybody. So highly recommended. Not just saying that it's the best thing there's no question it changes the machine in a way that's incomprehensible for most utility machines. In no way is this trying to replace a full-blown razor or sport machine, but for as a utility side by side, it puts a smile on your face every time you ride it now.